Hello and welcome to Own Your Divine Light Show. I'm Janet Miller and I am so excited. Isla Serona Miller. This is my new magical name, which I'm letting you all hear it because I'm stepping into it. And our show is talking about how to accelerate ascension during the times of chaos and pandemic that we've been going through. And we've all been going through so much right now. And it's feeling like, things are starting to lift a little, and yet there's still so much unknown on the horizon. And we are meant to be creating a new way of being. And today's guest has really worked with animals and people connected to their pets. And she's done it with so much love and compassion. And she is because we're so connected to our pets and they are so important to us. And this wonderful animal communicator, Karen Anderson. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome, Karen. And
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. This is really an incredibly important time in just the life of everything that's going on around us and the changes that we're all experiencing. But I think sometimes we get better after we go through something crazy and chaotic.
I
So
agree. I agree. And this is so great. This is exactly what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to tell them a little more about you, Karen. Um, you are, Karen has been doing her animal expertise she's helped thousands and thousands of clients over the last 24 years, moving through devastating grief after loss of a beloved pet. One message from a companion animal can be so powerful and truly life-changing, but she has a simple 6-step method. You can open your heart, and you can receive the healing messages that she has and watch your grief melt away. And she's written best-selling books that you can find on Amazon to document her incredible journey into the amazing afterlife of animals. And she has a beginner's course, which is designed for those who are new to animal communication and ready to start that journey. And you can get more free training on her free app, Pet Loss, Hope, and Healing, and in her private Facebook group called Animal Communication Planet. And if you're ready to start your healing journey, it's Karen's honor to share her gifts with you. So welcome, Karen. So happy to have you here.
thank you, thank you. Oh, such good lusciousness, isn't it? It's like
It is. And what you said was so powerful because animals have meant so much even during this time, especially, right?
absolutely.
When you're isolated and you have a pet, it's just, you're having this beautiful being with you. They're your best friends. I know that people have had so much loss and it's like it's losing a family member. So how has it been affecting these people through the pandemic? How have you been seeing things affecting the pets and their owners?
Very devastating. I know that I hear from people all over the world, and it is a common denominator that we all love our pets, no matter where we live, no matter what language we speak. And when we lose our pet, when we have to say goodbye to that pet, it can literally be numbing and paralyzing and unbelievable devastation. And I hear from clients every day who say, they've never experienced pain this deep. They've never gone through anything this difficult. And, keeping in mind, I understand the loss of a human loved one. We're not comparing that loss, but it is truly sometimes one of the most devastating experiences that we go through when we have to say goodbye to our beloved companion animals, especially in times of turmoil like during the pandemic. They're with us all the time. They're around us all the time. They're the only things that put smiles on our faces sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it is truly a global common denominator that we all have, no matter where we live on this beautiful planet of ours. We love our pets, and it's so hard to
Oh,
say
yeah.
goodbye to someone you love.
Yeah. And it's so interesting how many people have, really, you meet people through having a pet. Pets are like a whole nother network of connecting with people, and it's gotten so big now. People are so devoted to their pets in a way that's opened up. And haven't you seen that in the past, 20 years?
Yeah.
It's been, and why do you think that happened?
I think we're looking for that bond. I think we're looking for something bigger than ourselves, something we're looking to connect. Social media has really brought so many of us together. Back when I started this, there was no social media, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was none of that stuff out there. So it was really hard to connect with people who were like-minded, that understood you, that admits that they talk to their pets out loud every day, that we tell our pets where we're going, when we're going to come home. And, now we have this camaraderie where we can bond with other pet lovers who get it. They don't make fun of us. They don't tease us. They get it. They're just like us. So I think that's part of it. We just want that bond, that connection, and to know that we're part of something bigger than ourselves.
That's true. And it's waking people up in so many ways too, isn't it? It helps people wake up to there's more to life than just, the everyday stuff. I mean, pets, you really get a different sense with them, right?
Well, I think that they bring out the best in us, even in the worst situation. I think they help us really see who we truly are, deep down inside. And that's one of the, I think, beautiful, one of many beautiful things that we get from having these companion animals in our lives is that they help us redefine who we are and who we think we are. And they help us become better human beings. I have become way more patient and compassionate and considerate and just grateful to be in the moment, enjoy life like they do, right? They're so in the moment.
Yeah.
We're 2 weeks behind, or we're worrying about what's coming up, next Friday or whatever's going on. Animals are just like right here in the moment, and they're loving it. They're rolling in the sun, they're napping in their favorite place, they're playing, they're really living. And I think sometimes, Janet, we forget to do that. We forget to live. We forget to just enjoy that moment. And boy, they bring us right there. And we can't help but smile at them with their silly antics. So
that's so true. I mean, I know, we had chatted before in another show. I had a little pet guinea pig that my kids got. And I was like, am I going to like this little animal? And honestly, I fell in love with that little guinea pig. I literally, my whole heart like opened up in a way. I was
guinea
like,
pig, right?
I didn't expect that. And I knew she was a female. I don't even know how to tell, but I just knew she was female. And we just connected. And I was so like touched by her. So when she passed, I had this miracle around me. She flew around me. I saw her like a little fairy flying around me, and big smile like this, like a big Cheshire cat, going, thank you. Almost like I could feel the thank you. She was just so happy. She was free and happy now. And it was just incredible. And I had seen her whole passing come in a dream. I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Wow.
And I had never had that before. I had never had that kind of communication with a pet before.
See? I mean, we can't really compare it to human connection because it's totally different. I mean, totally, totally different. But these little things, or big things in certain cases, horses and our other big companion animals, they are truly here to help us on this incredible journey in this lifetime. They're here to help us. They open doors for us. They change our perspectives. They raise our vibration, along with helping us through difficult times, such as, calming us down, lowering our blood pressure, just helping us relax.
Oh,
and,
yes.
just to be calm. There's so many benefits that these guys bring us that truly we're the ones that should be eternally grateful to them. Even the ones that challenge us. I know there's some people going, oh my God, I have one that drives me crazy. Believe me.
It's just like having a child. They're all the same. Children can do it too.
I have some of those. But even the ones that bring you your biggest challenges, I truly believe that those are the ones that have the most powerful effect on your life in helping you work through whatever you are here to accomplish as a spiritual light being. So look at the underlying message there. Read between the lines. What is that little critter or big critter trying to teach you that maybe you're not getting it? And they're here in this lifetime with you to help you learn and grow and expand on a spiritual level.
Yeah. So do you see pets mirroring like things that you're not aware of in yourself? So say if a pet is acting up, like you're saying, is that like almost like a little mirror saying, well, look at yourself. Why is this pet acting
Oh
like?
boy. Yeah, you absolutely got that right. In many times, clients would come to me when I was conducting sessions and they would say, this is happening or that's happening or why is this happening? And I'd check in with the animal and it almost always came back to be the same thing with each person. There was something going on with the person.
Mm,
They may not have realized it. They may not be consciously aware that there was something going on with them, but there was some kind of imbalance
mm-hmm.
in the human part of this relationship. And that little animal or big animal, if you have big dogs or whatever, is your barometer.
Yeah.
They're there to, peg over on tilt when you're out of balance, and they help keep us, middle of the road, right where we're supposed to be.
Mm,
So truly they mirror what is going on with us and what's happening in our own consciousness, and even in things that we're not aware of. They bring it to the surface, and boy, they'll pack a punch. They'll let us know when when things are out of balance. So
yeah.
it always comes back to the human.
It's
Always.
yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, I've even heard of people, and I'm sure you have plenty of amazing stories, but of one person told me that her dog literally came back and showed that this wasn't just a dog. This was like an enlightened being that was ancient, that was stepped into the dog to help her through this new incarnation that was very, very difficult because her gifts came out, I mean, tenfold. And she was having a hard time doing it, but then she stepped into it. And then finally, when she owned it fully, I mean, and the dog was with her 15 years, she finally left, but then came back and told her who she truly was. I mean, that's unbelievable stuff. Have you heard stories like that?
Yes, I actually had it happen to me too.
Oh,
And
you're kidding.
yes, so who you think you have there in your life with you may or may not be exactly what it appears to be. There may be a deeper meaning, a very powerful life lesson there. And also, too, I think it's fascinating how many times we have lived in a past life with our companion animals. I
Mhm.
don't like calling them pets because it just kind of doesn't do them justice. I mean,
Because they are
but
companions. They really are.
they are companions. So if I say pet, I don't mean it in a bad way. It's sometimes easier to say that, but truly, our pets are with us in past lives so many times, and this will explain one very important thing. If you've ever felt like you had one particular animal that was so connected to you that you love all your animals, you love all your pets equally, but there's this one.
Mhm.
Or I've heard it called their soul dog or their soul cat or their soul horse, where there's just like this unbelievable bond that no rhyme, no reason to it. You just feel this incredible connection to them. And then, of course, when it comes time to say goodbye, losing that very special someone in your life can prove very, very devastating. But here's what I wanted to share with you. I have found through thousands of communication sessions that the reason you have a soul animal in your life is because you have lived through more lifetimes with that particular companion animal than you have your other animals. So
Wow.
it's all cumulative. It
Mhm.
all is brought forward into this current lifetime. So if you're feeling that really special, strong pull, it's not that you're playing favorites, you're just experiencing the accumulation of all those past lives coming together in this incredible experience that you're having right now with this pet. So you can relax into that and not worry. Of course, you're going to be closer to someone you've reincarnated with multiple times over and over and over and over again. Of course, you are. Doesn't mean you love the other ones any less. It just means you guys haven't been through as much. So,
Sure. Oh, that's a beautiful thing to know. Thank you. And so you talk about the unresolved grief versus the anticipatory grief. What are you meaning by that? Because I know people, as you said, are going through a lot of grief when they learn about when their animals leave, when their pets, their companions leave, and they really have a hard time. We were chatting about it before, how, really people come to a lot of difficulty when a pet leaves. So tell us a little more about that.
Well, and truly, and to be totally transparent, I'm not a grief counselor. I'm not certified in grief counseling, and that's not my forte. My forte is the afterlife and pet loss and delivering messages from animals, these incredibly healing messages from animals. So I can just share with you that in my experience, anticipatory grief is, let's say you have an elderly companion animal and you know that your time is limited. I mean, our time is limited with all of them, but when we get towards those twilight years, towards the time where we know that they're going to be transitioning out of body soon, you can experience what's called anticipatory grief, where you're actually on many levels starting to try to cope with what life is going to be like without that companion animal.
Okay.
So this is maybe somebody that you've hospiced for months or years, and somebody that you've, your whole schedule it revolves around them, the medications and feeding. This anticipatory grief, you don't even know you're doing it. It just can weigh upon you, and by the time they're ready to make their transition, it will feel like a ton of bricks hits you even harder because you've had all of this anticipatory grief that you've been experiencing, just knowing that you were going to have to say your goodbyes. So I've experienced that, and it's really devastating when something like that happens. Now, in contrast, unresolved grief, which many people can relate to this. Unresolved grief is where you don't come to terms with a previous loss.
Oh.
You still blame yourself
Oh,
for
okay.
something that happened. You punish yourself, or you replay those tapes in your mind over and over about all the things you coulda, shoulda, why did I do this? Why did I do that? Why did I leave the gate open? Why didn't I do that last surgery? Why did I not seek help sooner? All the things that we do to ourselves, right? It's like we can't control what happened. We can't control that we lost our companion, but we can certainly punish ourselves, right? We can really be hard. That is unresolved grief, when you don't come to terms with it, when you're obsessing or really focusing, hyper focusing on all the things you did wrong, instead of the underlying message, which is you just shared an incredible, beautiful life with this friend of yours, this buddy, this companion animal, and now they're gone, and you're missing the beautiful part of that connection and everything they brought to you that was amazing and wonderful, and all those happy memories, because your unresolved grief overshadows everything. It puts a heavy blanket
Wow.
on anything positive. It even makes you feel guilty for feeling kind of okay, or even like considering having another animal companion in your life again. It makes you feel guilty.
Sure.
And truly, the biggest difference is these are all your thoughts. This is not what your pet is thinking. This is not what they're experiencing from the other side. And so this is all self-generated pain and misery that we put ourselves through. And again, I'm speaking from experience here, personal experience. I've done this countless times. I don't do it anymore. And if I am experiencing some grief, I'm better able now to work through it and find the beauty in the life that I shared with this particular companion animal, and not focus so much on all the boo-boos and mistakes I made along the way, because I guarantee you, your companion animals won't even mention it. It doesn't even hit their radar. They don't judge us. We judge us, but they don't judge us.
Wow. Yeah, and we can't be so hard on ourselves. Humans are always harder on themselves, and yeah, we just, yeah, it's a really good thing that you're talking about that, because I think this is going to help people so much to look at that and go, I've been doing that. I didn't even realize I was doing that, because I don't think you even see it sometimes. You're just in a funk and you don't know what that funk is, right?
You are.
Like, wow, what's wrong with me? You
And
know, and
that brought me to another real quick thought, and
yeah,
hold your thought there. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'll lose
problem.
it if I don't share it real quick.
Go. It's more important to hear you.
We were talking about this before we went live here. Is I've had many clients, more than I can even imagine, reach out to me, tell me that their grief was so overwhelming and so powerful and so devastating that they didn't want to be here anymore.
Mhm.
Now, some of them will say, I don't mean I want to kill myself, but I just don't want to be here without my companion anymore. And on the flip side of that coin, I've also had many clients write to me and reach out to me and say they wanted to end their life so that they could be with their companion animal again. This animal was everything they had. This was their best friend. This was their whole life. Nobody understood them like this fur child of theirs. And now that that certain someone is gone, they find no meaning or no purpose left in their life.
Yeah.
So I have seen every possible scenario of how devastating grief can be. And it is truly, to me, the blessing here is how healing just one little message
Mhm.
can be.
Mm.
And it can take you from that really dark place and move you out of that heaviness. It'll move you out of that funk or that fog. It's like having a wet blanket on you. You just can't shake it. I know I'm a very private griever.
Mhm.
Some people are very
Open.
outward with their grief and they share it with everyone. I go deep within and I get very quiet with my grief, and it's a very personal moment with me, and I don't put a lot out there when I'm deeply grieving. And that's just me, and everyone's style is their own, and there's
Mhm.
no wrong way to grieve. Do whatever works for you, or honor your feelings in the way that helps you process, because that's what grief is. Grief is a process of experiencing the loss of somebody you love very deeply. So I would just say that whatever phase you're in, maybe you've just lost someone,
Mhm.
maybe you're anticipating losing someone, or maybe you're right in the middle of a house full of happy and healthy animals and you're nowhere near any of that, which is great. But whatever place you're at, animal communication and understanding what's going on in those fuzzy little heads will help you create a stronger bond, a closer relationship, better balance. Plus, it's amazing when you get your first message. It's mind blowingly amazing.
Yeah. So how do you get them? How have you had people get messages? It'd be fun to hear, like what did they hear? And like right now, did you have anything specific coming up for people when they had their losses? And I know you want to empower people. So what do they tell you? What do they share with you about the messages that they're getting? Like, especially during this challenging time, anything particular?
Yes. Oh, I have so many to share. Okay, so the biggest thing that I'm hearing right now is that people are experiencing a lot more visitations
Mm,
from a departed pet, which
wow.
is really exciting because more people are spending time at home. Think about it.
Sure.
Because of what's going on in the world, more people are at home, they're in their home environment, and it's a controlled environment. So when you're at a workplace or when you're commuting and when you're out doing this other, there's certain things you can't control, but when you're home, you're the only one there, or
Mm,
you're the only two people there in the room, and then you'll hear something or see something in another room. It's like, wait a second, what did I just see, or what did I just hear, or what was that? So more and more people are reporting that they're having visitations, manifestations, jumping up on the bed, feeling something brush up against them.
Mm,
I hear this all the time, and it's so exciting to me because people are becoming more sensitive to these visitations because our companion animals try so hard to let us know that they're there. And then
mhm.
the first thing we want to do is go, oh, pfft, that's my imagination. That's not real. That's just
Right.
wishful
Yeah.
thinking, all the things we do to discount. And our pets on the other side are like, no, it's really me. It's really me. Don't discount it. Don't discount it. And it took a lot of energy for them to do that. You
Sure.
have to realize if you don't have a body, how are you going to make something move or appear or make a sound? It's really hard and it takes
Mhm.
an awful lot of energy. So they've conjured up all this energy and they're going to send you this sign that they're with you. And then you're
Wow.
going to say, nah, that was just my imagination.
Oh my goodness.
They're like,
I know that is very disheartening, those poor creatures. And the other thing is, well, what any particular kind of signs that you hear that are coming through? Like, is there like tips, like a tip for someone to look for? Like you said, brushing against their skin, jumping on the bed. What else?
yes, dream visitations. The
Okay.
number one way that your companion animal will visit you from the other side is in a dream
Cool.
because you are more relaxed, you are more open to receive, you are less likely to discount it as imagination or whatever. And so they'll visit you in your dreams. And just because you don't remember a visitation does not mean they aren't happening. Sometimes, the brain is amazing. We're using what, about 10% of our brain. So there's probably visitations going on. You're just not remembering them in your conscious state of being awake. So I would suggest keep a little journal next to your bed or jot down notes if you feel like you had a visitation or a dream or it felt like and it'll be a good one. This is,
Mhm.
and I want to be really clear about this. A dream visitation is a loving and extremely uplifting, positive feeling. It's never bad, sad, scary.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
those are your fears playing out in your subconscious dream state. That's not your pet visiting saying, Mom, I'm scared, or Dad, I'm scared. No, no, no. So I get that a lot. I just had a horrible nightmare. My pet was calling out for help. Oh my gosh, does this mean that they're in trouble on the other side? No, those are your fears and worries and stressors as a human being. That's what's playing out in your dreams. Your pets on the other side, you do not have to worry about them. They are perfectly fine, balanced. They are surrounded in love. They're with loved ones. They're in a good place, a good space, which is all around you. And yes, they hang out around us. That's their favorite place to be. And one of the reasons you may not feel them is because they are around you all the time. So
Oh,
think about being desensitized. If
mm.
someone's around you all the time, you're not going to notice it as much as you would perhaps somebody popping in and brushing up against you, or maybe leaving a nose print or a paw print or a whisker or a
Oh
tuft of
my goodness.
fur.
Wow.
Yes, all of those are ways that our companion animals let us know that they're with us. And I mean, some incredibly amazing things that they do, even pushing food bowls around or placing a toy out in the middle of the room when there's no other animals in the house. It's like, how did that toy get there? Well, there's only one way that toy could have gotten there. So really cool things are happening, and I'm just so glad to see that people are really embracing this and accepting it for what it is.
Wow, that's so exciting. I mean, that's just so good for people to hear because yeah, we're slowed down enough that we can pay attention to that. The distractions are less unless you're constantly watching TV or constantly listening to podcasts. I mean, there's some of that distraction still available. But if you just quiet down, so if you for people listening, you're going to what would you tell them right now? What would the best be for thing for them to do?
Best thing that you can do is trust
Hmm.
that your companion animal is with you. Now, I want to be real clear on this. They're not with us 24/7,
Right.
365, but they're with us a lot. They're around us a lot. I mean, wouldn't you go check out what you can see? I mean, wouldn't you go buzz around, fly around, and go wherever you want to go. You go on some great adventure, right? But then you always
Right.
come back to home base,
Yes.
which, home base is us, no matter where we are. So even if you move, even if you're not in the same house that they lived in, doesn't matter. You are home base, and you have a code. Your soul has a code, like the scanning bars at the grocery store. So you are coded, and all your companion animals have your code. So wherever you are in the world, they can be there with you. So don't worry if you move or had to go somewhere else, doesn't matter. Even if you had to leave, let's say, their remains behind, don't worry. They're not there. They're with you,
Yeah.
and they will always be with you. So one of the things that you really want to be mindful of is give them credit for a visitation. If you give them credit, make a big deal about it, get excited, say, "Oh my gosh, I just got a message from you. Do it again, do it again, do it again." They'll do it again. And
Wow.
the more you pay attention to it, the more you give them that positive feedback, the more you will be open to receive, and the more signs and messages will come through. And there's going to be an animal companion out there that doesn't feel the need to do that.
Mhm.
So if you have been waiting for a sign and you haven't gotten a sign, and you're like, "Karen, I'm not getting a sign,"
Mm.
it's not a reflection of love. It's not lack of love. It's just unique to an individual's personality. So you might just have somebody that, for whatever reason, doesn't feel they need to do that. And get this, that's usually the animal that is with you the most. So
Uh-huh.
since they're with you the most, they don't feel the need to, make their presence known or make a sound or meow or bark or whatever they're going to do, because they're with you all the time. So their routine doesn't change very much once they leave their body. They still like to be in their favorite spots. They like to, hang out with you and go places with you. They're not restricted anymore into the physical realm in one place like we are. They can travel around with us and go anywhere.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that is so great to hear. I'm thinking of all my pets I grew up with. I'm like, oh, I have to be more aware of all that. That's really, really great stuff. So I know, you've got a book coming out that I know is so important. And tell us a little bit about it and what you're doing with it. What is it? What's the reason you're bringing this book out?
This is my third book, and
Mhm.
it is about pet loss and
Mhm.
the journey through the grief into healing. So it's a very
Mhm.
powerful, uplifting book. It has actual stories of clients who have gone through a painful loss, and they've found their way through the pain and into a place of healing. So lots of individual stories, just like my last book, The Amazing Afterlife of Animals. That was a very uplifting book. This one is the same too, but it actually gives you, the reader, a roadmap to find healing of your own. Let's say you're in that dark place. Let's say you're just, "Karen, I just can't do anything. I'm paralyzed. I'm stuck. I don't want to do anything or see anybody or talk to anybody." This book will give you examples of many other clients and what they went through in their journey. So you can then connect your own dots and find your way out of that very, very dark place and into a place of healing, which, the journey through grief is as unique as we all are. There is no one way to grieve, there is no one method to get you through the grief. And I truly believe that a little piece of our heart never comes back. I think they take that with them when they go,
Mhm.
and it leaves a little open spot so that when we leave our body and make our transition, that's when we become whole again, when we are reunited with that particular companion animal. So it's meant to hurt, that loss. It's supposed to hurt because that's true love. That's the reflection
Yeah.
of that true bond. So we never get over a loss. We find our way through it and move forward, celebrating the time we had, the life we shared,
Mhm.
and finding our peace and healing.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a beautiful thing to bring out for people. Thank you for that. That's a beautiful journey to, help people through. I mean, so powerful, so beautiful. So that's coming out soon. When is it coming out?
Oh, soon, I hope. I'm working on it right now.
Yeah, well,
And
that's exciting. It's in process, everyone. So
in the process.
you got
Yes.
the heads up on it. That's all I'm going to say, because I know it just sounded so amazing for people to hear about it, because it's just something that people need. And as you're saying, they really,
Yes.
really need this information. So what has benefited you during, and your animals, like your own pets and things, during these challenging times? Anything particular has come up during this time that has really helped you out?
I think the biggest thing for me, and I want to share this, is that our animals become stressed when we're stressed. So they're a great reason to stay centered, balanced, calm, and to not get caught up in a fearful thought process.
Mm-hmm.
So really just helping us stay focused on what's truly important and prioritizing, what's really important in our lives. I think that's what this time of crisis has done. The pandemic has made us think about, what's really important here. What do I really need to live my life, to feel fulfilled, to find happiness, to live in abundance? What do I really need? I think they help us with that. They help us realize, we don't need that much.
Mm-hmm.
And we just need the love and companionship of our pets. And we need to be really good about taking care of ourselves, because who's going to take care of our baby if we're not here? So that's another good reminder. And we have to remember to take really good care of ourselves and to plan ahead in case we can't take care of them. Make sure you have included them in your documentation for,
Oh, yeah.
something happens to you, have somebody
So true.
already in mind. Think ahead. What if you're incapacitated? What if you're in the hospital for 10 days? Who's going to take care of your babies or whatever? You have to think about them, and remember what's truly important in life isn't what you might read on the news headlines or hear on the TV. That's a lot of fear-based information. So just focus on what's positive and fulfilling, and what makes you happy and what makes you feel good, and simple walks out in nature. I live out in the middle of nowhere on the top of a mountain, so I just go out my front door and I'm surrounded by beauty. But some of you might have to go to a park or
Yep.
to the beach or wherever you need to go, but just get out and be in the moment with your pets. Be there with them. And I want to put a challenge out there. I didn't talk to you about this before we got
That's
started.
okay.
So I want to put a challenge out there. I want you to think about if you could start like a 7-day challenge where you initiate eye contact or physical contact with your pet, and don't be the one to end it.
Oh.
Let your pet decide when they've had enough. And, cats will let you know very loudly and very clearly when they've had enough, at least some of mine will. But just to help strengthen your bond at home with your pets right now, I want you to do a 7-day challenge. Don't end the playtime. Let them decide when they're done playing. I know some of you are going, Karen, you don't understand. My dog will never stop playing. I have one of those. And literally, he will play and play and play and play and play and play forever and ever. But if you really want to connect with your pets and create a more powerful bond, the one thing they tell me they want the most is our love and affection and our attention.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be the one to cut it off first, whether they're there for love, whether they're there for playtime. I want you to think about this, think about what I said today, and let your pet decide when to end that particular session, and see how your relationship improves with the pets that you have at home.
Wow, that's really good. I love that. That is such a, yeah, that would really make a difference in people. I can
We,
totally.
we end it too soon, right? I know I
Yeah,
do.
we do. We cut it and they're not ready. And it's just like playing with your child. They don't want you to end and let them end it. And then they like go off and do something else. As soon as they turn away from you, then you know they're done, right?
Exactly, exactly. They'll let you know.
Yeah.
And they come to you. I mean, you're their world.
Yes.
You're the center of their universe. And so when you basically tell them with your body language, or only give them 2 seconds of your time or 30 seconds of your time,
Mm,
just imagine what that would be like
I
if
know.
that were your universe and somebody ended it like that so abruptly with you all the time. So I want to share that with you because I heard this message countless time that our pets just want more of our attention and more of us being present with them in that moment, whatever it is that they're doing. And if you do that, you'll see fewer behavior issues because you're giving them the love and affection and attention that they want right now. So that's the bonus to that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I was going to ask if you had a final message, but I don't know if you have any more. This was such a beautiful message. I mean,
I
that was
think I want that one. I think I want that one to be.
that was amazing. So I'm
Yeah,
not going to ask that anymore.
I
You've
just
already answered it. So
I just sprung
everyone,
that on you.
here's
I
that
did.
challenge. No, I love it. The challenge is amazing. So and I know you have a special offer and you have another free offer. So tell us a little bit. I know we're running close to your moment here. So
Okay, well, the free offer is a free animal communication starter kit. So this is everything you need to start your animal communication journey. There is an animal communication handbook. There are my 6 simple steps of how to connect, easy steps anyone can do. 5 free lessons. You get free training on my Facebook page, free training in my mobile app, Pet Loss Hope and Healing, and my 2 best-selling ebooks for free for a
wow.
limited time. So be sure you grab it while you
Okay.
can.
Mhm.
And my paid offer for those who are like, yes, I want to do this. Yes. And it's like singing to your heart and calling to you, and you're all excited, like,
Mhm.
oh, so want to do this. I'm offering my online course for animal communication. It's totally designed for beginners for 65% off.
Wow.
I know. It's
That's so
crazy.
generous. We are I'm very appreciative, and I know the audience is, and all those animal lovers are going to be running. So that is so beautiful. What a great gift. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited. I can't wait to get everyone started on their journey. If I can do this, anyone can do this. You don't need a special skill. You just need to love animals and be ready to go, okay, show me what to do, and you're good to go.
Oh, wow. That's so great. I want to do it myself. So I got to get that in there. So I want to just thank the audience for being here, and thank you and encourage you all. Please, we love your feedback, your comments, and we share them with Karen. So please let us know. And Karen, you are an amazing light bearer. You really have owned your light, and you connect with people in so many beautiful ways and help them shift their lives themselves and through their animals from the dark to the light. I mean, it's just beautiful. And you are a shapeshifter of light for
Thank
people.
you.
I really think that's exactly what I got when I was thinking of you. I'm like, she's like a shapeshifter. She really can help them, totally transform. So your work is so powerful, and you've helped so many people. And we have so much gratitude to you for all that you've done, and me too, so much for everything that I'm learning through you. So thank you again for being here and for sharing all this wonderful wisdom. And I am Isla Serrona Miller, and I will see you on the next episode.